Good morning. My name is Dimitri. Since the loss of the YouTube scene and emo girls, there's a gap to fill. I say lost like they all died. You just don't see them anymore. Where are the OG YouTube scene girls at? They all archived all their shit and deleted their channels. It's tragic. But anyways, the baddies are just not stretching their ears anymore. You never see it. It's a dying art. So I'm going to tell you all about mine. These are my ear holes. I can stick my fingy in it. I believe my ears are 16 millimeters or 9/16. Editor's note, I got my measurements fucked up. My ears are 16 millimeters, but they are not 9/16 because that is a completely different size. My ears are 16 millimeters or 5/8 of an inch. So, sorry, I fucked that up. I think I do that a couple times in this video. But 16 millimeters, 5/8. The way that stretch ears are sized is kind of odd, which I'll talk about in a second. But I just want to talk about the basics and my experience in case it's helpful to you. I started stretching my ears in May of 2018. I don't know why I remember it so distinctly and specifically, but I do. And this is where I'm at now. And I think that I am done at this size, which is smaller than I thought I would stop at. My goal was always approximately the size of a quarter. I have a quarter and I have my jewelry. So, this is a quarter, and this is the jewelry that I'm currently wearing. It's kind of hard to show it, but as you can see, the quarter is larger. But I believe that I need to stop stretching my ears where they are. I struggled immensely to get to the size that I'm at now, which is 16 millimeters. My ears did not want it. I got my ears pierced at Claire's when I was 16. Yeah, that's all I need to say about that. Don't get your ears pierced at Claire's. Don't get your ears pierced at a place that uses a gun. There are no exceptions to this rule. Guns are bad. Get your ears pierced. Get all of your holes pierced with a straight-up needle or nothing. No guns, no little machines, no nothing. But I didn't know any better. So you have to wait until your ears are perfectly healed to start stretching them. I didn't get my ears pierced with the intention of stretching them, but still 2 years went by. If you want to get a jump start, you can ask your piercer to pierce your ears with a larger gauge, because stretching your ears is exactly what it sounds like. You start very small, and you just keep putting larger and larger things in your ear holes, and it stretches it. So you can skip a couple of sizes. You can ask your piercer to pierce your ears with a larger piece of jewelry in the first place. My ears were pierced normally, and I believe the gauge is 20G. So as I was saying earlier, ear sizes are weird, where they kind of switch the way they do it, the way the sizes work halfway through. So the smaller sizes are a set of numbers, and then you get to 00, and then it switches. Editor's note, I did not do a very good job of explaining that. Here is a chart. I believe this is a uniquely American system. Some people do it exclusively by millimeters, so you can avoid that whole sizing system. But the way it works is, say my ears are pierced at 20, size 20, very small, very, earring hole, whatever. The next size would be 18. And yes, 18 is bigger than 20. That's the confusing part, is in this sizing system, the smaller the number, the larger the size until a certain point. I used tapers, which are these little things, and you put the skinny end in your ear hole until it gets to the big end. I've heard that tapers are not good for stretching. I didn't know what I was doing when I stretched my ears, and I stopped using tapers once I got to larger sizes because they were harder to find and they weren't working as well for me. I've heard they're bad. I don't know why, and I can't speak to that, but that is just what I've heard. When you're in the smaller sizes, you can stretch a little faster than you can with the larger sizes. At first, I was waiting like a month between sizes, and then 2 months, and then 3 months, and now the absolute minimum I would wait until I could even try to put something new in was 6 months, and my ears wanted me to wait a lot longer than that, so I did. Stretching your ears shouldn't hurt. It might pinch a little, but it should not hurt. I have rushed some stretches before and it super hurt, and I was like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm not ready. And your ears can get really swollen, and then you have to drop down a size. It's just not worth it. Also, in that same vein, people will always tell you not to stretch your ears because it's irreversible, which is kind of true and kind of not. Past a certain point, past a certain size, your ears will not shrink back down to normal, but ears do shrink. Mine do it super fast. Like I lost my jewelry once when I was at work, and I was away for work. So I cut up a bunch of Q-tips and taped the little sticks together and put that in my ear hole and hoped that was the right size. And when I got home and finally got new jewelry, like my ear had absolutely shrunk and I had to size it back up again. So if you're in the smaller sizes and you decide that that's just not what you want to do and you take it out, they can shrink back down to normal. But if you rush your stretches and injure your ears, the chances of them shrinking back down to normal aren't as good. So if you stretch your ears healthy, and if you change your mind, they'll shrink better. So there's that. Once I stopped using tapers, and I don't remember what size I was at when I stopped, I started using the dead stretching method, which is where you just put the bigger jewelry in your ear hole. And I did this with stretching plugs by Arctic Buffalo. And here they are. This is not sponsored. I'm not affiliated with them. I just love these stretching plugs. I get the metal ones or the glass ones. The metal ones are heavy, so it helps with the stretch. And they have those rounded backs, so you can just like slide it in your ear. And then I wear them for like, I don't know, a day, and then I can just put my jewelry in. They're fantastic. I super love them. They made my stretching so much easier. So I highly recommend the stretching plugs from Arctic Buffalo. And I also, because after the increments are very small between sizes in the smaller sizes, as the sizes get bigger, the jumps between sizes get bigger, which my ears could not handle. Past a certain point, I think it's past the 0 size, once you get into the bigger sizes, the jump between sizes is 2 millimeters, which sounds really small. It was way too much for me. So I had to go with half sizes. I started having to go with half sizes at 2. So I was at 2 and I kept trying to jump to 0 and I couldn't do it. So I had to get a 1, which is a atypical non-standard size. But Arctic Buffalo has half sizes, and I needed that. I still need that. I cannot make the 2 millimeter jump. I have to do half sizes. So I've done half sizes from size 2 onward. You hear people complain about the smell a lot. Yes, there is a funny ear smell. You can not have a funny ear smell if you wash your ears. Every time you're in the shower, take your plugs out. I take them out, I like scrub them between my fingers, in my hands, under the water with a little soap, and then I put them off to the side because these silicone things are impossible to put back in when they're all wet. And then I go like this with my ear, and I usually use my face wash because my face wash is really gentle, so I just go like this. Because your skin produces oil and is constantly shedding dead skin cells. But when it's trapped, when the oil and the dead skin cells get trapped because, you always have this in your ear, it can't fall off, it can't escape, it gets yucky, and that's the smell. And your stretched ears especially produce more of that gunky stuff because you stretch them and then they need to heal. Stretched ears are like a piercing. They're a wound you're trying to get to heal in a specific way. So the same thing, people complain about septum smell, and it's the same thing. It's just like the skin around a wound trying to heal. The smell is easily prevented by cleaning. My ears don't smell because I clean them every time I'm in the shower. Clean your stuff and it won't smell yucky. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that. A lot of stretching for me was just trial and error because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I can't stress enough safe, healthy stretching. I've known people who they stretched their ears to a certain size and then they took them out for years, and then they were like, well, I was at that size, so I can just go right back, and they jam that size in, and I'm like, ugh. The healthier you stretch your ears, the bigger you can go. I tried my best, but I think my ears have tapped out at this size, and that's all I can do. So be safe, be healthy, consult professionals if you don't know what's going on. Take really long breaks. Don't force it, or bad things will happen. I think that's all I have to say about that. So thank you so much for watching. I love you. If you like these little silicone doodads that I showed in this video, I have them linked in my Amazon storefront. That'll be in the description. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.